shit exclusive.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Kenshé. We're back with another episode of Culture Talk with Kenshé and another very special guest. I'll let him introduce himself.
It's DC Rock, CEO of Trap Cecil, and a couple more other things, but we'll talk about it.
Okay, so go ahead and introduce yourself. Just tell us a little bit about what exactly it is that you do.
My name is DC Rock. I'm a CEO of a streetwear clothing brand called Trap Cecil. It made its ways around Atlanta. I also co-own Playhouse Studios, and I also co-own Highly Unique Radio, internet radio station.
Okay. So how exactly did you get started in the entertainment industry?
Basically, in about 2009, I dropped out of college. Maybe a year after that, my uncle told me he wanted to start a radio station, internet-based, and then we went on from there. We ended up starting it inside his barbershop, and then I ended up networking and getting to know a lot of people, and yeah, that's how I got started.
Yeah, so you talk about doing the radio show in the barbershop, and a lot of people don't know that you actually were one of the people who started the whole Highly Unique Radio with you and your uncle in the back of the barbershop.
Right.
So just talk a little bit about the process of starting from there and the success that you've had so far to what everything is now.
Like I said, in 2009, I dropped out of college. So around 2000, I would say mid 2010, maybe early 2011, we actually started on the process of running the internet radio station. I don't know if y'all remember Ustream. That was a social media video network we end up using for fans to listen. And then we just stayed consistent. We started inside the barbershop, then we moved to like a small office in Atlanta Station. Then we ended up moving to Pryor Road with a warehouse. And we just stayed consistent, networked with a lot of people that's FM personalities right now. And yeah, we here. We still hearing. We still going. We still on the internet. You can download the app Highly Unique Radio on any phone, any tablet, anything like that.
Yeah. So I know you're a part of Highly Unique Radio, but it wasn't your first stop at online radio. So what was your first stop? And just talk a little bit about the process and what were your inspirations into getting in this lane?
Well, I started really doing team parties. We were a team called Dope Dreams, and we started, I can't name the exact year, that was a while ago, but that's how I kind of got my name out there. That's how people familiarize my face and things like that. Started with Dope Dreams, team parties, mostly in Gwinnett. We ended up doing a popular club called Opera later on, and then the radio situation came, so we started doing that. So Dope Dreams was my first thing that I tried doing in the entertainment business.
Okay, and what happened with Dope Dreams?
Dope Dreams, I would say that I couldn't do business with my co-partner at that time. Couldn't do business with my co-partner. We had a friendship. It got out of hand. That's where business turned into personal. And then a lot of things got out of hand where I couldn't do business with him no more. So I decided to just let that be and come up with something else that I could do. And I ended up coming up with Highly Unique Radio. And then later on, I ended up coming up with Trap Cecil.
Yeah. So you just left Dope Dreams, you just gave it all away.
Yeah, I gave it all away. It was real hard to give away because I did put in a lot of hard work. But me being me, I just I just didn't want to deal with the drama. I didn't want to deal with none of that. I didn't want to argue with nobody about it. I just let it be, so I could have a peace of mind and just do things on my own, in my own lane, the way I want to do it. And for the most part, yeah, I just didn't want to deal with the drama of it, arguing with nobody about it or nothing like that. So I just let it be and came up with something else.
Yeah, that's crazy because a lot of people might have, you know, a hard time with just letting go of stuff like that. So what advice could you give to a person that's dealing with like a difficult partnership, especially like in the entertainment industry or fashion industry? It kind of all ties into the same, it's all for the culture.
It's real hard to do, especially with something you love, but I also believe that if you really want to be in this industry, you could come up with another idea. You could come up with another name. Really, all it took was me to come up with another name that people like and things like that, and come up with something, another occupation to do. So if you want to be in this industry, I believe that for a peace of mind, you should be able to come up with something else, and you just let it. Sometimes you just gotta let things go. Let it be, and your next maneuver might be something way better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say just do that. Forget the drama.
Yeah. And you mentioned when I said for the culture, it kind of reminded me that when you did first have that show on Highly Unique Radio, it was called For the Culture.
Yeah.
And so what happened with that?
Yeah, so first on Highly Unique Radio, I actually did a show called Dope Dreams. That's when I first had Dope Dreams. I actually did a show called Dope Dreams, then later on, I did a show called For the Culture. That's where a lot of indie artists, that's when I started doing my own artist showcases. I started doing my own events called For the Culture. So me and the artist I was managing at the time, he came up to me about just having a name for the culture. And he just didn't know what to do with it. He wanted to just do something with it. He wanted to name his project that, or he wanted to do an event. So he just put it in my hands. So I told him, I got a platform, let's do a show called For the Culture. And then we did it for a consistent maybe 2 to 3 years. We did events, showcases, everything. And then he kind of blasted me. I didn't know, I still to this day don't know where it came from. He kind of blasted me on social media and was like, I didn't picture For the Culture like this and that and this. And he did this before he told me. So people calling me, messaging me, texting me, and I'm just in shock.
Wow.
So I tried calling him, he not answering. I tried calling some of his associates, they not answering. So I commented and I just told him this was the wrong way to do things. And again, that's another maneuver thing I had to switch. I let them have it or whatever they want to do with it. And I came up with something else. I came up with another name. I came up with something else, did the show a different name, did events a different name, and just made my own name for myself. And that artist, I'm sure you're never gonna hear about him again.
Wow, okay, drop a bomb. Okay. Pop your shit a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. I have Fly Guy DC and Control Your Crowd, Rico and Julio in a couple weeks ago. So I know you've been in the game just about as long as them.
Right.
So just talk a little bit about Atlanta nightlife and like what it was like back then compared to what it is now.
Back when I was doing team parties, it was just fun. Like it wasn't no sections, none of that. People buying $300, $400, $500 bottles. It was just, you pay an entry, you go in there, you know you're gonna have fun, you're gonna get twerked on, you're gonna Fly Guy DC gonna be hosting. All the females that's in your high school gonna be there. everybody just having fun. That's where you see a different side of people. So it's definitely different. By the time I got 18, 19, it was still mostly that. I didn't really, it was still mostly fun, but more to a mature college adult level. You could drink a little. Somebody might slip you a drink or whatever. You're still not that 21 age. But by the time, because I was focused on radio for a while, so I didn't always go out when I first hit the 21, 22 age. But by that time I started going to clubs consistently as an adult, around 22, 23. By that time, it was a thing like you really need to have your money up. You really gonna have your money up, or you just gonna be sitting at the bar and just being there. So it definitely changed, and Atlanta became Black Hollywood. Atlanta became this thing. Everybody wanted to be here. Everybody wanted to shine. Everybody wanted to pop bottles, 9 to 10 bottles, and have their own sections, and just wanted to be that person that's known for having money or getting a shine on in the Black Hollywood of Atlanta.
Yeah, definitely by the time you get to 22, 23, it's like you go to the club, you better get a section.
Yeah,
if you want to be somebody in Atlanta, you can't just go to the club and just be at the bar.
Yeah, and when I first got into it, I thought it was a thing. If I get to know more people, the more people I know, I can sit in a section or things like that. But a lot of people look down on those people as lames or they broke and things like that. So it really became a thing. I really had to focus and find out how I'm gonna make money or get money, buying sections and popping bottles and stuff like that. So what I did is I started throwing my own parties, start connecting with owners, promoters, and things like that, where they can either give it to me for free or a discount or things like that when I first started. So I think that's a gem that people should know. Networking can get you far.
Hell yeah.
Networking, and you don't really gotta have money like that if you really know the science and the art of networking.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I think I took advantage of that, and I'm still here today.
Yeah, networking is the key.
Fact.
Period.
Fact.
Period. If you don't do anything. So, what type of effect do you feel like Atlanta nightlife now has on the culture?
Again, Atlanta is still Black Hollywood, and it's that to the max. Everybody want to come to Atlanta. Everybody want to be known somehow, some way in Atlanta. Clubs out, we known for nightclubs. It's not much to do in Atlanta but go to the nightclub. So we known for that. All the celebrities, we got the hottest artists. We got the hottest celebrities that you might just see shopping at the mall. So everybody here there and they want to come here. And I think I miss the old Atlanta, but the new Atlanta definitely give Atlanta more opportunities and more ways for the younger generation to make money or see that dreams can come true. So I do appreciate that. But other than that, it's just too much traffic. It's just too much traffic. And a lot of out-of-towners are coming here. A lot of violence that come from Atlanta do come from out-of-towners, so that is another thing. But Atlanta, I believe overall it's in a good place, because the young generation can take advantage and make money doing positive things. So I believe Atlanta is in a good place.
Yeah. How do you think that COVID affected the Atlanta nightlife scene or your job in the Atlanta nightlife scene? Because I know a lot of the things that you do are self-employed.
Right,
and
right.
the entertainment industry has had a large hit because of COVID.
Well, pretty much everybody knows that Atlanta don't give a fuck about COVID right now. Like, we gonna be outside. But I would say in the first stage of it, everybody did follow the rules. Everybody was inside, but you could feel the energy. People texting, calling, like, bro, what the fuck we gonna do? This and that. Like, there ain't shit to do. me and Juice, my partner, started having kickbacks at the crib just for something to do. But still, that was only like 10 to 15 people. But you could feel the energy, and I told people this not gonna last long for Orlando, because the outside think that it's so much to do in Atlanta, but really our shit is the clubs. We going out, we outside, no matter what.
No matter what.
So I knew it wasn't gonna last long, and that's why Atlanta was one of the first cities to really open up, and we stayed open up. And I don't think nothing is gonna shut it down. And I'm not saying if it's a good or bad thing, but I don't believe nothing's gonna shut Atlanta down. Period.
Yeah. So I know when you got into this entertainment industry as a whole, you kind of dibbled and dabbled in the music industry. So what was it about the music industry that like kind of steered you away onto other things?
Again, Hollywood Radio definitely support independent artists. So I took in my hands to manage an artist, to start managing artists and marketing artists. Managing is definitely not my thing. I can't work for somebody, or I can't work with somebody that don't work hard as me. Because if I go into things, I'm not a person that's looking to just try to take your money and just, oh, you gotta pay me this amount of months and that and this. I'm looking for a partnership. I'm looking to work hand in hand with you. I really want to know what your record's like, what you're doing, how you gonna market it, what shows you at. I'm really into. And my Uncle Rich came to me and was like, man, why you spend so much time on these artists? You really just need to market yourself and do what you gotta do and figure out what you wanna do, what's your goals, what's your dream. So I took in my hands to really stay consistent doing the radio, start hosting clubs for a while. Then I came across the word Trap Successful, so I took that serious. That's a streetwear brand, and that's really where my mind is at right now, of making sure my clothing brand, something that I own 100%, stay relevant, stay making money, and stay one of the best streetwear brands in the world.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, ownership. Artists.
Right.
So what was it that steered you away from the music industry?
Hollywood Radio do support independent artists, so I ran into a lot of independent artists and I found some interesting. So I took in my hands to start managing, marketing artists and things like that, and really try to serve a partnership. And basically all of those just went left for the fact that I really look into really being partnered with artists, really working hand in hand, really listening and trying to be there and make sure they make the best moves for their events. And then after a while, my uncle came to me and just was like, you need to market, manage yourself, work on your own goals, do your own dreams. Because it's hard out here in the industry. A lot of people don't care about nothing but themselves. So I took that into hands. After a while, I stayed consistent doing radio. Then after that, I ran into the word Trap Successful, and then I made that a streetwear brand, which I'm focused on now to become the best clothing brand I can make it.
Yeah, so where did Trap Successful come from? And tell us a little bit about your clothing brand, but where did Trap Successful come from and what does it mean exactly?
Trap Successful came from, shout out to my North partners in Gwinnett, I got
the partners. We'll call them that.
I got associates, family that's in the trap, and before they go out and things like that, they put on their jewelry. They be like, I'm looking real Trap Successful. It's time to go be Trap Successful, this, and that. So after a while, that word stuck in my head, and I said, I'm gonna make it something. And I knew I always wanted to make a successful clothing brand. So I just started wearing shirts that said Trap Successful, and people wanted to buy. So I really took in my hand to make it a real business and really look and research how to make a real streetwear business. And that's how I got started. far as the meaning of trap successful, I made it. I can't say what my trap people made it mean, but for myself, I made it mean to overcome your struggle. Because I know everybody go through a struggle, whether it's big, small. Everybody go through something. Whether you living in the hood or you live in the suburbs, but you hate your parents, that's a struggle too. So when you overcome that, or you start the process of overcoming that to become something that you want to be, that you proud of, then for me, you trap successful.
Yeah. So did having a son make you feel more trap successful, or how did that impact your hustle?
Having a son made me realize that I had to make all these hobbies into a business, especially trap successful. I had to make it to a real business. And of course, when he came, I thought about giving up and doing a 9-to-5 and just doing anything so I could have consistent income coming for him. But after a while, I tried that and it just wasn't in my heart. So I started back my brand Trap Successful. I really stayed consistent doing it, doing some research. And I know at the end of the day, because it's 100% mine, I'm gonna leave it behind for him, regardless if he want to do that or not. I know for a fact that he will have that no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. I know we're jumping around a little bit, but going back a little bit to the club scene.
Yeah.
So I want you to give me a little bit about like some things that you hate to see in a club, like some section etiquette, something like that. Like, talk to us a little bit about how niggas that aren't from Atlanta should conduct themselves. Or bitches, I mean, not bitches. Females.
First off, you shouldn't come to a session without being invited.
Period.
If I'm popping bottles, I got my own session. 9 times out of 10, I know who in my section. Don't come to my session trying to talk to people without being invited. This, and that. Like, that's. I think for me, that would irritate me the most about the nightclub and just having your own session and being in that life. I would say number 2, just know how to. If you are invited to a session, know how to conduct yourself. If you know you didn't put in on the bottles or the hookah, don't be trying to reach for bottles in the hookah. Don't ask somebody first. Ask somebody that you came here with, or that you know that probably bought bottles or whatever. And if you do drink, don't get too drunk where you tripping all over the session, throwing up in the session and stuff like that. I know things happen, but at least try to know when you gotta go to the car. At least try to know when you gotta go to the bathroom.
Especially if these ain't your people.
Right, and especially those two facts. Number 3, I would say for artists, and I know a lot of DJs personally. For artists, don't try to pressure the DJ to play your music. Know how to. First off, that just throw off the whole party. If a DJ decide to play your song, it throws off the whole party, because at the end of the day, nobody knows your music.
First off, let me interrupt you. First off, if you gonna ask the DJ to play the music, have some money. Have at least $100 to give the DJ.
Nah, facts. I just said that on the show. Nah, facts. At least have $100. At least do something. Offer drinks or food or something, and just have your business conducted. Have your email already pulled up, or have some type of etiquette of coming to the DJ and really trying to get your songs played. Don't just be drunk and come to the DJ and just play my song. No, that's not the way to do it. He never gonna do it, and you just gonna be out of luck. You never gonna hear your song in the club. It's gonna be a wrap. Because DJs know a lot of other DJs, and a lot of DJs gonna be like, man, listen, don't play this artist's music.
Right.
That happens in this industry.
Yeah.
And And if you broke, I would say another one, if you broke, man, just learn how to stay home. Just don't come out. Just don't come out. If you only got like $50 to your pocket, you could might hit a little bar or something, but just don't spend your all and be fucked up the next day just to go out to impress whoever you trying to impress. It's not worth it at the end of the day. And that's something I had to learn too. So it ain't no shade to nobody, but just do that.
Yeah, because outside costs at least, how much you say in Atlanta? Just to step outside costs at least.
It just depends on what level you on. It just depends. I would say at least try to have 100 in your pocket. At the very least, try to have your 100 in your pocket. At the very least. Yeah. But I don't try to go out with no less than three to five.
But okay, so how do you deal with people who may have underestimated you in the past when you weren't so as successful, or even if you were as successful but weren't as flashy, and now they come around and see that you're a little bit more, like you seem a little nicer these days. So people coming around, how do you deal with the people who tried to kind of flex on you before?
I always tell people I got friends that I know that's in my circle, but I learned to have business friends. I have business friends that I know they here for something. Like it's not really mutual. I know they come in here for something. I respect them. What's up? But I'm getting straight to the point. Like, what you in my face for? What do you want? Like, what business? How can we do this mutually though? It's not gonna be I help you, you help me. So I try to handle, at first, I was a genuine person even when it came to business. So I just wanted to help everybody, no matter if they help me or not. But these days, it's just like I conduct myself on another level. So those people that hated before, it might be harsh to them, but it's really just like, what do you want? I got things to offer, but what do you want? How can we really conduct business? I know you after something. And I ain't gonna lie, some of my people, I just don't even talk to, period. I just let them see what I got going on, and they just gonna be hating, and I just let them hate.
Yeah. So tell us a time where you learned a big lesson that you took with you for the rest of your career in the entertainment industry. A big lesson you learned about the entertainment industry.
Again, it comes to really trying to have genuine friends in the business industry. I would say the managing artist thing, because I really believe that I showed him the right way and showed him the right plugs and show him the right moves to do, and for him to blast me on the internet really messed up my mind. If he would have came to me first, we could have had, but him to go straight to the internet, it really messed up my mind. And see what he tried to do after was like, it was like mind blowing, because I really believed that I helped him. So then I knew I had to be heartless when it came to the industry. After talking to my uncle, after talking to a couple people that's really in this business industry, I knew they wasn't surprised. So I really knew I had to be heartless and really focus on people that I know that's gonna be there for me no matter what. It's past business. Like, I got a circle of people that's real small that just I know they're gonna be there for me no matter what. Like, forget about the business. Right. I know when it comes to personal or business, they're gonna be there for me.
Right. Yeah. So I know your newest show is called The Afternoon Trap. So
right.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
The Afternoon Trap, we do that every weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. The Afternoon Trap, it's just great vibes. Like, each day we have Man Cave Mondays, we have Tipsy Tuesdays, we have Wasted Wednesdays. We have Kickback Fridays. Thursday show is gonna come probably really soon. We haven't really started doing Thursday, and we take off weekends. It's really just a great vibe where it's kind of podcast radio style, but we just cover a lot of different topics, whether it's a man topic, sports, relationships, celebrities, just anything. And also we interview entrepreneurs, artists, just anybody out here doing their thing that we see that they really doing their thing. We interview them, and it's on the platform of How Unique Radio.
Okay. So one last thing I wanted to ask you about. So I know that when you were in the music industry and used to do showcases, can you talk to me a little bit about Atlanta indie artist showcases and your feelings on them between now and then?
Maybe put people on blast. She trying to, but when I was doing indie showcases, we was doing it for the culture of it. Like, it's a lot of times that I didn't walk out with no money from doing these events. But it was just a great time because we had talented artists. We had artists really come to show something. We didn't overcharge them. We didn't tell them celebrities gonna be there when they not. We didn't tell them A&Rs was gonna be there when we know they not. So we was really just doing it for the culture of it. Network and chill, like we did that consistent for the culture of it, and a lot of people loved it. And with my events, I also interacted like clothing brands and photographers and things to just bring the whole culture together.
The whole culture.
Nowadays, it's just like, people are doing showcases, charging $250 to $300, and just telling them they gonna get signed, and just telling them if they bring a lot of people out, then they win. And then they tell them that they win, like they win shirts and they win studio time, and they never see it no light or day.
Never. So
they never see these prizes or nothing. And it's just a bunch of vultures doing showcases right now. It's a lot of vultures doing showcases right
plus
now.
Some culture vultures.
Right, fact. and it hurt me to see it. I know they just doing it for the money. Artists, stop paying them. Ain't no way you should pay nobody $300 to go perform at the club.
Period.
Not if you're not opening up for a big artist or nothing like that. Like, you paying $300 so you could possibly win a prize? No, ain't no way you should be doing that. They vulturing you, if that's a word, but artists, I'm telling you that straight up.
So now that you have a little bit more success, what advice could you give to artists that are trying to pitch themselves or pitch their songs to people in the industry?
Again, I believe it goes to networking and forming relationships. Networking, just network, just be out places. Just network with the DJ or network with the host. Just network. Even you can network on social media.
Yeah.
You can network on social media. Find a good way of doing it. I'm not a professional PR, so I ain't gonna tell you the way to do it, but there's a way of nicely doing it and reaching out to DJs. You may reach out to 50 DJs, but might only hear from 5 to 8 of them, but maybe that's a win.
Yeah.
Cause those 5 to 8 of them could be big DJs that could tell you where to go to the right place. At least one out of those 5 or 8 of them might tell you the right move. So I would just say networking, forming relationships. That means, all right, you network and that person reached back to you. Now form that relationship with that person. Find a way to form a relationship. See where they spending it. And they just want to see your face. Really, a lot of DJs just want to see your face. Maybe have a drink or two with you. You don't have to buy them bottles and shit every time.
Yeah.
A lot of them, especially if y'all already was in conversation, a lot of them just want to see your face.
Yeah.
And I would just say form relationships is probably the best gem that you could take with business, period, especially for artists.
Yeah, for sure. So where do you see yourself and your businesses in the next 5 years?
I see myself becoming one of the biggest streetwear brands coming out of Atlanta. When I look at Atlanta, yeah, we have fashion. A lot of people do look up to Atlanta as far as how to dress and things like that. There's a lot of celebrities that just have that, that have that fashion. But as far as like a real streetwear brands, like when you think of FUBU or when you think of Billionaire Boys Club, you know they came from New York. You know BBC came from Pharrell. You know, a lot of streetwear brands come from Cali. I don't think no Atlanta streetwear brand really stamped their name to say we coming from Atlanta and this what we wear and this what we represent. I'm gonna be trap successful and that's just how it is. And I believe I can become that for Atlanta.
Yeah.
So in the next 5 years, that is my mission to become that for Atlanta and for the world to see it.
Yeah, period. What about as far as like radio, as far as things that you do personally? Do you see yourself trying anything new?
As far as, yeah, I do see I can't say what because just every 2 or 3 months something pop in my head to do something new.
Yeah.
Like doing show reviews, is that something that popped in my head and that's what we're gonna start doing. So I do see myself still being a radio personality, a podcast personality in the next 5 years. I believe I'm gonna do that for the next 10 years. They don't do that like regardless. As long as I can talk, I'm gonna be able to do that straight up.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you have coming up in the next couple of months?
A fashion show. We're doing a fashion show in July with multiple brands. Shout out to Thomas. Gonna do a fashion show right now. This is something I never told nobody, but it's looking like it's gonna be at Ace Lounge, July 11th.
Exclusives.
Big fat. July 11th, and then I'm gonna look into doing a big pop-up shop for, I can't say the date, but for my clothing brand Trap Successful, I'm gonna do something real big. I haven't personally did a pop-up shop just for my brand yet. I've been to a couple events, vendoring and going to other people's pop-up shops and stuff like that. But I want to do something real big in the next couple months for Trap Successful. So I think that's where I'm gonna take my brand. And of course, the afternoon trap, we just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger, doing stuff at different sceneries. Not only in the radio, just doing stuff at different sceneries, at different studios, and at different places, and talking about different topics.
Yeah, I heard y'all are about to get into YouTube.
Yeah, we all, every person I meet on the afternoon trap is pretty much all fans of a great show called Snowfall. So we personally took in our hands that we're gonna do our own afternoon trap reviews of Snowfall, and we just gonna put it straight out on YouTube. So y'all look out for that, man. It's gonna be dope. Y'all better pay attention.
Okay. Okay, then who's gonna do the review with you?
It's gonna be personality Vade, my homie, Jukes, and then we might have some special guests that's really fans of the show to come on and talk their reviews. But for the most part, it's gonna be me, myself, Vade, and Jukes.
Okay.
Big facts.
Okay. So tell everybody where they can follow you and everything.
You can follow my personal Instagram at DCRock, the one, THAONE. You can follow my Trap Successful page at Trap Successful, TRAPCESSFUL. And also go to the website, trapsuccessful.com, and follow the Instagram, The Afternoon Trap. That's all my platforms.
Okay, I want to ask you another question real quick before we get out of here.
Right.
So we know that you are in a relationship. So how difficult is it to navigate in the entertainment industry, like with with being in a relationship as opposed to being single? So tell everybody like some advice, because I know I personally get a lot of like questions, or I get, you know, it's a male dominated industry. So people come to me because I'm a female, feel like they could get advice. But a lot of guys in the entertainment industry have issues as far as relationships and stuff like that. So how do you deal with that? And is it easier being in a relationship versus being single in the entertainment industry?
I would say if you're single, do your thing, but don't be afraid to date or try somebody out because you in the business. Like if you like somebody, go after it and see what happens. I would say that being single, of course you're more free being single than you would probably with like a serious partner, because your serious partner want to see you sometimes, but sometimes you might have to meet you. You might have a meeting, so you got to pick one or the other, or you got to learn how to explain to her, like I got a meeting and things like that. So you, for yourself, you just got to learn how to balance it. If you're in a relationship, I would say communication. Communication is the best thing you to do. Don't wait for 30 minutes to tell her you got to be out at the club at 12 midnight. Don't wait till it's 11:30 to tell her that. Tell her that the sooner you tell her, the better the results gonna be.
So check in pretty much.
Yeah, check in. Just check in. You in a relationship, you gotta check in, communicate somehow, some way. I know some things come up, but have that communication with her. I would say every once in a while, just have an overall communication of how she feels, how you feel about things, and things like that. And I can't really say one thing. The single life may seem easier because you're more free. You don't have to check in. You feel like you don't have to communicate with nobody. You doing what you want, this, and that. But if you have somebody that motivates you to do what you do and know what you're doing, it gives you a peace of mind to know that she's good with it. She's gonna motivate you. She's gonna tell you her ideas. She's gonna help you keep moving. Cause at the end of the day, a man needs somebody for that. A lot of men don't have somebody to just really talk to and really just tell them how to move or motivate them. They don't really have them talks all the time with their homies. They don't really have them talks all the time with their family. So when you find somebody that could do that and really understand what's going on, then you do have a peace of mind and do you feel like having, not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but do you feel like having a partner that is kind of in the industry helps that out a lot? Because I know when I have, like I said, I have, since it is a male dominated industry, I have a lot of guys come to me for advice, and I kind of just feel like it's a different perspective when you don't really know. You know, when you're not as knowledgeable on the industry and how it works. Yeah, I think it depends on each other personality. Because a lot of times you don't want to see your woman out in the club, and a lot of times a woman don't want to see their nigga out in the club if that's something they do. Sometimes they want to come home and talk about a whole other industry, talk about whatever she doing at her job. Sometimes men don't, it might be an ego thing for men, it might be an ego thing for women or whatever, but I think for me personally, I think it's easier for somebody to really understand what's going on, really understand, like, I'm not personally going to meet somebody at the club, but I'm going to network at the club, or I'm going to network at this place. I think it's better for me personally, I think it's better when somebody really understands and really get a vision of what's really going on because she does that or does something similar as well.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, you told everybody where we can follow you. Thank you so much for coming through. Anything else you want to say before we head up out of here? First off, shout out to Kulture with Kenshé for having me on the show. Much appreciated. Big facts. Shout out to my afternoon trap family, Vade, Jukes, Little AK, Deja, Holly Unique Radio. What up, Uncle Rich?
Shout out to everybody that's gonna watch this video, and shout out to everybody that tune in or download that How They Meet Radio app. Shout out to my family, and much love to God for us being here.
Period. All right, y'all. That's been another episode of Culture Talk with Kenshé. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all next time.
Damn, it is shit exclusive.